come back here, and then we'll go to Jeff Hood.
Becky Blankenship, NASCAR Media Group. Jeff, you've been so dominant this year, but unfortunately haven't come away with a win. Does that kind of show how hard it is nowadays to win a cup race?
It does. You know, the competition's really tight. I think it also shows what double file restarts and green, white, checkered, finishes do to the sport. That, on one hand, they make it really exciting, but for somebody like myself, when we've had the dominant cars, the cautions, didn't fall right. When we've tried to go out there and steal a win by a late caution, the green, white, checker, didn't fall away, or the cautions didn't fall right for us. So, there's a lot of different ways to win races these days, and sometimes the fastest car wins, sometimes they don't. Last week when we had the 4 fresh tires and had the fast car, the caution didn't fall out, where the previous races it did. So, I just believe that as good as our team is, as good as our cars are right now, we just keep doing what we're doing. Those wins are going to come, and those opportunities are going to fall our way. So we're not really getting too caught up in it right now.
Jeff, and then Kenny.
Jeff Hood of RacingToday.com. Jeff, last week Betty White hosted Saturday Night Live. There was a lot of buzz about that. You've done that in the past. Is that something you'd like to do again, host that show?
It was a thrill of a lifetime, and I would love to do a skit here and there, but it's a 7-day commitment, and it's very nerve-wracking, a lot of pressure, and it's completely out of my element. So, I guess now knowing what goes into it, maybe I'd be a little bit more comfortable doing it again. And I'm thrilled that I did it once, but it's kind of one of those check marks where you've done it and you're like, yes, I can say that I did that, but I don't know if it's necessarily something I want to go back and do again. But it was a lot of fun, first you got to get offered to do it. So I got offered to do it, I did it, and if the offer ever came back, I would probably do it.
Kenny, raise your hand, please.
Kenny Bruce with SceneDaily.com. Jeff, you kind of touched on this. I know you've gone through stretches before where you haven't won races, but have you ever been as good as your team has been recently and led as many laps without winning races? And also you talked about the green, white, checkered finishes. Has that kind of painted a picture of maybe the best teams aren't necessarily winning the races every week?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assessment, and that's the thing is, this is why I don't compare past history to what's going on today. The point system is different, the cars are different, the green, white checkers are different, the double file restarts. Had we had single file restarts, we would have won 3 races, I think, right now. It's just that much different when you start single file. Especially if you start double file with the lap cars on the inside like we used to. It's just totally different. You still have to win under these conditions, so it's important that you get it right. You don't spin the tires on those restarts, that your car takes off good, and I think that right now. You got a lot of guys experimenting and teams that are solid. Of course, everybody's trying to win races, but you're also trying to get yourself really ready for the chase and to win the championship. I really don't think there's anything we could do different to have won those races that other than me spinning the tires at Phoenix. I really don't think there's anything that could have been done different to have gotten victories right now. And I think that those races, if they happen over again, and the cautions fell a little bit different, then we'd be sitting here with quite a few victories. So we're not really sitting here worried about it or upset about it. That's just how racing is. And I really haven't even thought about trying to compare it to the past when, if we've led that many laps and not won. I don't even know. If we get 10 or 15 more races into the season and we haven't won and we're continuing to run as good as we are, then I'll be concerned.
Last two.
Jeff, Chuck Davis, Comcast Sportsnet, Washington, D.C. hey, this place is so tough, but you've had success here. What makes this place so tough, and what have you done as a driver and your skill set to allow you to have success here?
Well, this place is tough because it's all corners, high bank, very fast, long corners, and when you're in the corners that long, the car's got to be right. You've got to have a really good feel. Getting the balance right here is difficult because if you get the car too comfortable, the front end doesn't turn and it pushes, and then you lose your speed. If you get the car turning too good, the back end wants to come around and you lose your speed. So to get the balance right here is very challenging. Not to mention there's some big compressions and bumps and things getting in the corner that challenge our engineers and shock and spring combination. So it's just giving really good feedback back to the team. That you feel like is limiting you from going fast and getting the balance right. The concrete also, it doesn't have as much grip as, say, a paved track. So, it's just one of those things where you're on the edge all the time around this track. And the team that can get the car to work the best on the edge like that is the ones that are gonna run up front and have a shot at winning.
Last one.
Jeff, Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of unique trophies that are given out to race winners these days. Do you have a favorite from all the races that you won, all the trophies you won over your career?
They all have the same meaning, even though they're all different shapes and sizes. They all mean a lot. I guess maybe a Daytona 500 or a Brickyard 400 might be a little bit extra special, but there's not a trophy I don't like. The Monster Trophy here is very cool, and certainly one that the kids would like. So I'd like to take that back to my daughter. I think she'd have a lot of fun playing with that trophy and looking at that trophy, and I'd have to try to protect the trophy, I think, from her. So we're hoping we get a chance to do that this weekend.
Thank you, Jeff, and good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.